Well, good morning, everyone. It is Monday, November 16th. You are watching the On the Go post show with the Go Morning Team on Facebook as well as YouTube. I'm Danielle Wiggins, joined with Dave Chadowski, Maureen Kyle, Austin Love, and look who joins us this morning, Jason Frazier, who is in for Holly. Remember, you can always chime in and let us know. We're talking with each other, but you are invited to the conversation as well. We are here for about 10 to 12 minutes to talk live with you. I will be monitoring your comments, and we're talking this morning about the wind as well as Thanksgiving plans adjusting due to COVID-19. So don't forget, comment in our section here and let us know where you are watching from and your name. And Jason, we start with you because I tell you, boy, we were all waiting for the Browns game to start yesterday, and then you heard those winds. And I swear for me, I thought that my house was going to cave in on each other, at least some siding was going to get ripped off. What was going on yesterday, and then what can we expect today, Jason?
Yeah, so we had a really powerful system that was to our north, and basically what was going on is there was a high pressure system and a low pressure system, and they were basically fighting for the same ground. Air, as you know, moves from higher pressures to lower pressures. So anytime you have air systems that are right next to each other, you're going to start to get what we call tighter pressure gradients, and you start to see all of those very strong winds. I think I just nerded out there. Oh, I love talking about science here. But we saw winds here in Cleveland that topped near 71 degrees wind gust. Those are tropical storm force winds. And I know a number of you saw a lot of damage in terms of trees. We did see some people sending pictures of some of the waves over on Lake Erie. And I want to thank each and every one of you for that. And we want to continue to get those pictures and those videos in as we evaluate who got the worst really of this. And the good news here today is that we are going to see the winds dissipate. I do think right around lunchtime, you'll start to see those winds dissipate from 30 to 40 miles per hour. Those are wind gusts to maybe around 20. I know a number of you are frustrated as well. I know some of you have been wondering, when is the power going to finally come back on? But we've been talking about all morning long about how those power crews can't get up on the light poles because it's just not safe until those winds die down. So I would imagine that we'll start seeing power restored later on this morning and into this afternoon.
All righty. So it's 7:09. Jason, I know you got to go to WTAM. Everyone else, yep. Dave, Maureen, Austin, what were you guys thinking when you heard those winds yesterday? Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I thought my house was going to definitely have damage because if my neighbor sneezes, my power usually goes out. Somehow we did not lose power. It flipped a couple of times, but I had to run one errand yesterday, and when I was out driving, I saw along one of our favorite walking paths, I saw a huge evergreen had been knocked over, and it was luckily it could have gone traffic or walking path, and it went walking path. So hopefully nobody was walking because of the weather, but it was just, it gets scary when all of that happens because you just worry about, even just the power going out, as little as the power going out to like what's going to fall on my house.
Right. Austin, Dave, what about you as we're waiting for others here to chime in? I see you guys watching. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Let us know what you were thinking when you heard the winds yesterday.
Well, I was just thinking that, and we talked about it in the air this morning, when you look down in Arkansas and you have a tornado, is that, as bad as you might think yesterday was, we're actually pretty lucky in Cleveland that every morning we go on the air, we're talking about a hurricane or wildfires or something. And I guess I just think that, we're fortunate that, losing power is no question that is annoying, but in the scheme of life, we're pretty fortunate in Cleveland not to have major catastrophes. Looking out my window, the leaves, for me, my annoyance was I had finally gotten my yard leaf free, and And now all the leaves from everywhere
You
else.
and these leaves, Dave.
Now,
Oh
so
my
I'm
gosh.
gonna have to go out again and do the leaves. I've done them like 20 times already. No lie. I mean, at least 10. So, and then the other thing was the Browns game being delayed over 30 minutes. You have the lightning and the video from inside First Energy Stadium. That was pretty incredible with the lightning and all the weather there. So that was my thoughts.
Yeah, Gary, he says that no power in Mayfield Heights. No worries, Austin. Gary just trying to get him in. He says he has no power in Mayfield Heights. Austin, go ahead.
I was driving home from Indiana yesterday, and my parents live there, so we were visiting them for the weekend. And it was me, Allison, and Benson, and the dog's got to go, so I had to stop over at a rest stop to take him to the bathroom. And we could feel the wind shifting us as we're on the highway, but I didn't really pick up until I'm walking the little 28-pound dog out to this field. And first off, he's struggling to get there because the wind is just blowing him back. And then, he had to relieve himself. So I had to make sure that I was standing not downwind from him, upwind from him. So, because that would have been a catastrophe in its own. So it was crazy though, but thankfully my power didn't go out. I live in kind of a newer building, so it doesn't, knock on wood, it doesn't go out too often. So I was good to go, but I was kind of expecting some damage around here. Saw a few, I was driving past, what is it, Home Depot or something in, Menards in Avon yesterday, and the big M that's on it flew off. So I was
wow.
And I didn't realize, I was like, why is that not there? And then I was like, okay, well that makes sense. It flew off. So
it's just a Nards now.
A Nards.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then this morning we have a great photographer, Tim Coffey, who brought us to a great spot that wasn't very windy. So I was thankful about that this morning. I did put a little extra hairspray in the hair to make sure it didn't go anywhere. So we're all good to go.
Yeah, Austin, we know we got to protect that hair. Shayla Smith, yes, Lord, those winds were crazy. What did she say? I'm missing the comments here. But yeah, she said, Lord, the winds were crazy yesterday. And Austin was actually traveling. But speaking of travel, let's switch gears a little bit because Thanksgiving is a little over a week away. Oh my goodness, can you guys believe it? How have your Thanksgiving plans adjusted because of COVID-19? Maureen, we'll start with you because I know you had that story this morning.
Yeah, and I do want to get to some of the expert advice that we had on this morning too, because we had some really good advice. I think everybody this weekend has had that conversation with their family or whoever they get together with for Thanksgiving, typically, because the cases were spiking. Maybe a month ago, we were in a different spot. We were a little bit more hopeful, but now we're up against that deadline of Thanksgiving. And I think everybody's families this weekend had that conversation of, all right, we were going to try and get together, but I don't think it's a good idea. So I know with part of my family, we are going to probably just do a Zoom. We're not going to risk it. I mean, it's too hard. We still have to determine all of the final plans. But the expert this morning mentioned that people are probably feeling disappointed. And, I've had that feeling too, as we approach the holidays of I have all these things I normally do and I normally look forward to them. What am I going to look forward to? And I've had that kind of sense of dread. And she was saying that, communication is still really key. So even though you might not be able to get together with your family or do the normal things, make sure that you do take advantage of things like Zoom, because those connections, even though they might be different, those connections are still really important. And then of course, finding new things to do with the family and starting some new traditions and focusing more on the things that you can do and not the things that, you can't do, and give virtual hugs and talk to your family over technology.
Jason and Austin, I know you guys, your family don't live here. What are your plans, or how have you guys adjusted?
So one of the things, typically in my family that we do is my father's side of the family, really big. We have 25 people, all in New York City. And this year, I'm not going to see them. It's going to have to be Zoom. And they're going to have to send me some oxtails as well as some rice and peas via the mail. But this year, it's going to probably be just my mom, my stepdad, and my wife, and that's it. We're going to do some Zooms along with some of our extended family in Baltimore as well as North Carolina. And, we're just going to try to play a few games and, just hope that, maybe by the middle part of next year, we'll be able to get together for another family reunion. But, to Maureen's point, we just didn't feel like it was safe to get all of us together, especially since, some people are asymptomatic and, you may be sitting down at dinner, it's your family member, and they may not even realize, that they even have COVID-19. So we certainly want to make sure that they are safe and we're safe as well. Austin, what about you?
I'm going to eat as much turkey as humanly possible, but on Thanksgiving, I work Thanksgiving, but this weekend
So do
we're
I.
doing a little thing on in South Bend with my parents, and my brother from California isn't coming in, so we're going to do a Zoom with them, but it's just going to be real small. My girlfriend, my brother, his wife, and then my parents. So it's just going to be very intimate.
Yeah, for us, it's just going to be the four of us. And in 717, we got one last minute. I want to get you guys in here. Susan, she says she is staying home. And then Kevin asked if schools are closed because of some of the damage that we've seen. Yes, we have those posted on WKYC.com. Sandra, she said when the winds were going, so they're going back to these wind questions. She was pulling a camper, just wanted to get home. And then someone in Lakemore says Sandra that no power at 2:30. And then Barbara, when we asked what were you thinking when you heard the wind, she says, what else is 2020 going to bring? Dave, go ahead and close us out. Thanksgiving plans for the Chudowski household.
Well, we're still talking it through, but we definitely won't be in a big group. But, I think these are the conversations, as you had mentioned, everyone has to have. And, it's disappointing for a lot of people. I think the hard thing for people right now is people have very strong opinions on this. And for me, I'll just give one thing. And I mentioned this, to Maureen off camera. It's frustrating because, you see families having to make these tough decisions, but yet you see other people doing different things. And it just makes it difficult, So, the key thing is for everyone to stay safe.
Yeah. Well, we want you all to stay safe as well today and have an amazing day. Of course, we will join you back tomorrow morning starting at 4:30 a.m. on Go. You can check Dave, Maureen, and Jason out during the Today Show. Have a great Monday. Continue to comment.